What up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Orlando, Florida for Wednesday, July 11th, 2018, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. George Clooney was briefly hospitalized Tuesday after he was hit by a car while riding his scooter on the Italian island of Sardinia. Clooney was riding the scooter near Olbia when a car cut across the actor's path at an intersection, resulting in a collision. Lieutenant Alberto Cagliani of the Carabinian Italian military force said to NBC News. Clooney was then taken to John Paul II Hospital after stating he experienced trauma to the pelvis and bruise to one arm and leg, La Nuvia reported. Clooney underwent an MRI but was quickly discharged as he experienced no serious injuries. Clooney was seen leaving the hospital with his wife Amal in a private car. The star is in Sardinia to film the upcoming Hulu limited series Catch-22, an adaptation of the classic Joseph Heller novel of the same name. Disney announced Tuesday that the release date for Indiana Jones 5 has been pushed back 1 year to July 9, 2021. The fifth entry in the franchise is planned to reunite stars Harrison Ford with director Steven Spielberg, has previously been announced to have a July 10, 2020 opening date, but delays have been expected due to issues with the script. The new premiere date announced Tuesday morning is July 9, 2021. Jonathan Kasdan, who co-wrote Solo, a Star Wars story with Father Lawrence Kasdan, the screenwriter of Raiders of the Lost Ark, has been brought onto the project to write a new draft for the script. David Cope, who wrote a previous version of the Indiana Jones 5 script, left the project to work on directing his Blumhouse feature, You Should Have Left. Disney announced other scheduling changes Tuesday morning, including Mary Poppins Returns being bumped up to December 19, 2018, after originally being slated for a Christmas Day release. Jungle Cruise starring Dwayne Johnson was announced to have an October 11, 2019 premiere date, while the Angelina Jolie vehicle Maleficent 2 was scheduled for May 29, 2020. Ford will next be providing his voice in the animated sequel Secret Lives of Pets 2, while Spielberg is in pre-production on a remake of West Side Story. The filmmaker also plans on helming the historical drama The Kidnap of Mortarda, starring Mark Rylance. Actor Joaquin Phoenix has signed on to play the Joker in an origin story about the DC Comics supervillain Warner Bros. Pictures announced Tuesday. Todd Phillips is to direct the as-yet-untitled live-action film from a screenplay he penned with the fighter scribe Scott Silver. The studio said in the news release, Phillips' exploration of a man disregarded by society is not only a gritty character study, but also a broader cautionary tale. The Hollywood Reporter said filming is set to begin in New York this September. Batman's iconic nemesis, the Joker, previously has been played on the big screen by Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and Jared Leto. Phillips' movie is expected to take place outside the extended DC universe as part of a new division that would allow Warner Bros. To tell unique comic book stories using different actors in the title roles. Leto is still expected to portray the Joker in the Suicide Squad sequel. Phoenix has starred in films such as The Master, Her, Walk the Line, Quills, Gladiator, To Die For, and Parenthood. It will be seen starring Friday, and don't worry, you won't get too far on foot. Phillips' credits include Old School, The Hangover trilogies, and War Dogs. Ben Affleck, Edie Gattacki, Toby Jones, Rosie Perez, and Willem Dafoe and Mel Rodriguez have joined the ensemble of Mudbound director Dee Rees's next movie, The Last Thing He Wanted. The adaptation of Joe Didion's novel is now filming in Puerto Rico and is set for a 2019 release by Netflix. It follows Anne Hathaway's character, journalist Eleanor McMahon, who finds herself caught up in the Iran-Contra affair. Reese co-wrote the film with Marco Villalobos. Scott Stuber, the head of Netflix Film Group, said in a statement, when the project was announced in May, Dee Rees is an incredibly talented filmmaker who continues to make provocative and entertaining films. We're thrilled to continue our relationship with Dee and proud to have her part of the Netflix family. Rodriguez tweeted on Tuesday, "So proud to be working with my girl D again. Anne Hathaway, Ben Affleck teaming up for Joan Didion's-based Netflix film." Rodriguez and Reeves previously worked together on an episode of the Amazon anthology series Electric Dreams. Jeremy Renner has been cast in an upcoming film based on comic book anti-hero Spawn that stars Jamie Foxx in the lead role. Renner will set to portray Detective Twitch Williams, who becomes an ally of Spawn, Entertainment Weekly reported. Spawn is being written and directed by the character's creator, Todd McFarlane, who is also producing with Jason Blum of Blumhouse Productions. This film will be McFarlane's directorial debut. McFarlane set the deadline. "I was lucky enough to land Jason Blum and then Jamie Foxx, and I knew the person on screen the most is this police officer, Twitch Williams. We need as strong a person as possible because he will be the face of the film. I took my naive Hollywood approach again and said, let's start at the top and work down. Jeremy was at the top." He continued, "I'm a huge fan of his. The character doesn't need to be a bodybuilder or GQ handsome. I was looking for somebody who's a person you've met before. I needed someone who can pull off the grief of an average human being. I've seen Jeremy do that in more than a few of his films. He was at the top of my list, just like Jamie." Spawn, who first appeared in his own series published by Image Comics in 1992, is a former member of the CIA Black Ops team. After he is murdered, Spawn makes a deal to become a Hellspawn warrior who possesses increased strength, speed, and the ability to teleport, shapeshift, and heal. Actor Michael J. White first portrayed the character in a 1997 film for New Line Cinema. An HBO animated series also debuted in 1997 that ran for 3 seasons. Renner was most recently seen in the comedy Tag and is expected to reprise his role as Hawkeye in Avengers 4. Warner Bros. Has announced that Djimon Hounsou has been cast in DC's upcoming superhero epic Shazam starring Zachary Levi in the title role. Hounsou is set to portray the 3,000-year-old wizard who grants young Billy Bastone, played by Ashel Angel, the power to become an adult superhero, Levi, by saying his name Shazam, Entertainment Weekly reported. The film from director David F. Sandberg is also set to star Jack Dylan Grazer as Billy's best friend Freddy, and Mark Strong as the villain as Dr. Thaddeus Savannah. Shazam marks the latest comic book role for Hounsou, who was also be seen in Marvel's Captain Marvel, reprising his role of Korath the Pursuer from Guardians of the Galaxy. Captain Marvel was the original name of DC's Shazam comic book series before the company changed the name. Shazam is set to arrive in theaters April 5th, 2019. The Game of Thrones spinoff will begin in the fall. Deadline reported the prequel pilot will start production in Belfast, Northern Ireland in October after getting in line at HBO. The spinoff, which has a tentative title of The Long Night, will film at the Payne House in Titanic Studios, according to Belgrave Telegraph. HBO has previously used the studio to film Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is based on the George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire book series and will return for an 8th and final season on HBO in 2019. HBO ordered a pilot for a prequel series in June. Martin confirmed in a blog post, "Yes, it is true. After more than a year of development, HBO has greenlit the first of the Game of Thrones successor shows that we've been working on." Martin says The Long Night will take place 10,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones. Kingsman, the Secret Service screenwriter Jane Goldman, penned the pilot script and will serve as a showrunner. Martin added, "Yes, this is a prequel, not a sequel. None of the characters or actors from Game of Thrones will appear on the new show." CBS announced fall premiere dates for The Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, and other series Monday. The Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, NCIS, Survivor, and more will return in September, with new seasons of Criminal Minds and Madam Secretary to premiere in October. Popular sitcom The Big Bang Theory will debut in its 12th season Monday, September 24th, and move to its regular time slot the next Tuesday. The series stars Johnny Galecki, Jim Parsons, Kaylee Kuko, Simon Helberg, and Al Nayar. Young Sheldon, a spin-off prequel to The Big Bang Theory, will also return September 24th before moving to Tuesdays. The show stars Ian Armitage as a young version of Parsons' character Sheldon Cooper. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is enjoying a tropical getaway in Hawaii. The 57-year-old actress looked happy and healthy in a photo Sunday during a trip to Lani with her husband, actor and comedian Brad Hall, following her cancer diagnosis. The picture of Louis-Dreyfus and Hall smiling for the camera during a swim. Louis-Dreyfus joked in the caption about strategically cropping the photo. She wrote, "I had to crop this photo. You're welcome at Lonnie." The Veep star shared a clip the day prior of herself dancing on the beach. She captioned the post, "Aloha baby, hashtag Lonnie." Louis-Dreyfus was diagnosed with breast cancer in September. She completed chemotherapy in January and underwent surgery the next month. The star wrote on Instagram following the procedure, "Hooray, great doctors, great results, feeling happy and ready to rock after surgery." Louis-Dreyfus and Hall celebrated their 31st wedding anniversary in June. The couple are parents to two sons, 25-year-old Henry and 21-year-old Charlie. Wrestling icon Ric Flair has undergone successful intestinal surgery that was performed in response to a life-threatening health scare nearly a year ago. Flair's daughter, current WWE star Charlotte Flair, confirmed Monday that her father's procedure was successful and said the former 16-time world champion is recovering in a hospital. Charlotte told WWE, "While some may have the effects of his health problems last fall may have slowed down my father's lifestyle, he really embraced it all, has ended up doing more work in the last couple of months than in the previous few years, and is enjoying life." She continued, "However, when he was told that he had the opportunity to possibly reverse some of the effects of the initial surgery, my father decided it was something he wanted to try, and he was very positive about the procedure, before noting that if things continue to go well, he'll be released from the hospital in the next 3 to 4 days." She says Charlotte also thanked fans for their supports on Twitter. She says, "Thank you for the prayers and messages. Dad is doing great." Flair was hospitalized last August and was put on life support before recovering. The two-time WWE Hall of Famer said his near-death experience was due to lifelong alcoholism. Titanic have announced a new animated series based on the augmented reality mobile game Ingress. The series titled Ingress, the animation is being created by the animation studio Crafter under noted computer graphics artist Yoshi Shiraguge, with character designs by Takashi Honda of anime Neon Genesis Evangelion fame, Variety reported. Ingress, the animation, will serve as a way to introduce fans to Ingress Prime, the upcoming sequel to the original Ingress game that was launched alongside the series in October, Titanic founder John Hank said. The series will take place in the world of Ingress, where mysterious energy has been unearthed by scientists that some believe is influencing the way people think. Two factions exist: the enlightened, who sees to utilize the power of the energy, and the resistance, who are fighting against it. The show will introduce two new characters who have been impacted by the energy. The duo will become involved in the enlightened and resistance battle and meet a new character named Jack, who will also appear in Ingress Prime. Hank said the anime peers into the Ingress universe and allows viewers to see a part of that universe that is uniquely expressed. Titanic is also known as the developers of hit augmented reality mobile game Pokemon Go. The developer is also working on a new augmented reality game based on Harry Potter. Jada Pinkett Smith is revisiting her past addiction to sex and alcohol. The actress discussed her propensity to binge on Monday's episode of her Facebook web series Real Table Talk. She says, "My sort of addictions they jump around. When I was younger, I definitely think I had a sex addiction of some kind, yes, that everything could be fixed by sex." Smith also shared a past problem with alcohol. The star says, "I remember reaching a rock bottom that time. I was in the house by myself, and I had 2 bottles of wine and was going for the third." She explained, "That's the thing about me. I can go cold turkey. I am a binger, and I always have to watch myself and just how I can get obsessed with things." Smith previously discussed her sexual history during an episode of Real Table Talk in May. She told her daughter Willow Smith that she developed an addiction to masturbation when she was younger. The star says, "I actually think I went through a kind of addiction too with it. And then one day I was like, enough, you're having 5 orgasms a day." Smith is parents to 17-year-old Willow and 20-year-old son Jaden Smith with her husband, actor Will Smith. Will said in an interview with the Rap Radar podcast last week that he and Smith don't refer to themselves as married anymore. Rapper Drake was seen cheering for Serena Williams Tuesday during her Wimbledon match against Italy's Camilla Giorgi. Drake, who was wearing a green hoodie, was said to be invested in the match, smiling when she was winning and showing concern when she was down, TMZ reported. Williams, a 23-time Grand Slam champion, defeated Gorgie in 3 sets, making her 1 victory away from the spot in the finals. Williams, now married to Alexis Ohanian, who she shares 10-month-old daughter Olympia with, was romantically linked to Drake in 2015. The pair are longtime friends and have pre-engaged. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1922, the Hollywood Bowl, one of the world's largest natural amphitheaters, opened with a performance by the Philharmonic. Since that time, a long, diverse list of performers, including the Beatles, Luciano Pavarotti, and Judy Garland, have appeared on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. The venue has become a famous Los Angeles landmark and has been featured in numerous movies. As the official summer home of the Los Angeles Philharmonic, the Hollywood Bowl has hosted such famous conductors as Arthur Rubinstein, Itzhak Perlman, and Vladimir Horowitz, along with opera singers Jesse Norman, Beverly Sills, and Placido Domingo. Dancers from Fred Astaire to Mikhail Baryshnikov have graced the stage, as have entertainers including Abbott and Costello, Al Jolson, Billie Holiday, Garth Brooks, and Elton John. When the Hollywood Bowl opened, its stage was a wooden platform with a canvas top, and audiences sat on movable benches, seats on the hillside of the surrounding canyon. In 1926, a group of Los Angeles architects built the Hollywood Bowl's first shell. Since that time, various architects, including Frank Lloyd Wright's son Lloyd Wright and Frank Gehry, have made improvements to the venue's structure and acoustics. Today, the Hollywood Bowl seats nearly 18,000 people. Its paid attendance records of 26,410 was set in August 1936 for a performance by French opera star Lily Pons. As a Los Angeles icon, the Hollywood Bowl has been featured in a number of films, including A Star is Born in 1937 and Beaches in 1988. In one particularly memorable appearance in the film Ali Oxenfree, according to the Bowl's official website, HollywoodBowl.com, Katharine Hepburn, having refused a stunt double, lands on a hot air balloon herself in front of the Hollywood Bowl stage during a performance of the 1812 Overture. And as your entertainment report for Wednesday, July 11, 2018, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.